Weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Money to bud.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. There's something wrong with that.
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
To have a happy relationship, you should see your partner for who they are, right? You should accept all their flaws, right? Well, according to some surprising research, maybe you should do the exact opposite and delude yourself about how perfect they are. A few years ago, experimenters went to a courthouse in Buffalo and rounded up about 200 couples who were there for marriage licenses. They checked in with these couples for the next 3 years, asking each person individually about the quality of their partner. How kind were they? How often did they pick fights? That sort of thing. They also had to tell the researchers about the traits that an ideal imaginary partner would have. And here's the surprise. A lot of couples said their spouses were a lot like their ideal partners, even if their spouses didn't report those traits in themselves. In other words, these people were convincing themselves their spouses were perfect. Shockingly, as the years went by, these couples who deluded themselves ended up happier than those who were more realistic about their partners. It has to do with the power of positive illusions in general. They can be self-fulfilling prophecies. Basically, if we think highly of another person, that person is more...
Listen, the way your brain is set up, you can't see all the negative stuff about your partner in the beginning in order for y'all to make it. That's all he's saying. You can't. And now we got a whole movement out here to decenter men, decenter women. You guys are going to be lonely forever. Relationships are designed to irritate you. They're designed to ruffle your kind of spiritual feathers, so to speak. How else are you going to grow? How else are you going to see yourself? Relationships are the conduit to self-awareness. You know? We got Nazarene X. I want to get his final thought. Nazarene, get back in here and finish it, bro.
Oh, man. I pray that even as adults, we just tap back into our inner child in all of the ways. I believe we find a smile inside, like a way to kind of laugh things off. But again, like you were speaking to earlier, like you got to have a sense of self. But at the same time, like, we don't even, I mean, like, people will get online and play all day, say whatever, make up new words and terms. Oh, you got cooties. Like, it remind me of that type of thing. But, like, partnership for real, or that recess thing where we all actually get together, like, the whole point is to not abandon the game, or, like, to stick by one another's side and play it through. Like, if it stays, don't renege.
Right?
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? It's basically when you get in with someone and you stay on your square, you can look at it like, all right, I'm here to see what God wants to reveal through us coming together.
How about that?
So, like, whole time, like, you just stick to your alignment, and that way, like, I mean, this coming from somebody that playfully, like, I'm way off my rocker. off top. So like,
come on, it's all
I'm here
good.
to swing on things for real. You know what I'm saying? So like, but I'm a straight up stand up man. So it is balanced, and I'm not perfect. I don't expect anyone else to be, but like, you ain't about to just drop kick me for real. Like, it ain't about that, man. Sisters and brothers, man, let's just stick together and let them, other folk have what they, yeah. Keep me in order, Unc. I love you, man. Let me get out of here before I do something.
Right.
KBLA, baby.
Hey, thank you, brother. You brought Atlanta in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We got Attila from Houston, Texas. Attila, get in here. What are your thoughts?
Hey, yo, what's up?
Yo. We in here turned up right now. Go ahead.
I hear. I wanted to address some things because I know you brought up the lady Kayla Nicole.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that was an interesting way to bring that in because for a few things, for starters, that whole materialism thing, that's built off of vanity, right? Which is ego. And it's interesting how people can function in that way, meaning they're giving up on their self, on love, right, for what's materialistic. And then they're surprised when they attract someone who is just as vain and materialistic as them because they've forgone their humanity in a sense. And you embrace an existence that's not fruitful, right? So I think some of this is matrix magic to keep you asleep, to keep you unconscious, hence these different movements that are not about growing and uplifting. And I'm not saying that you can't find value in some of these movements, but what I am saying is that there's not really a suggestion or a desire for growth in a mindset that's limited on material.
Do you see it as a movement that kind of encumbers your ability to like cultivate this self-awareness that is necessary for you to grow?
Well, I can't have self-awareness if I'm only aware of you.
Ooh. I got to be aware of me, huh? How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing about the ego, the reason why I really wanted to focus on that piece is because the ego is insatiable. And so if your ego is found through vanity or money or whatever your source is, we like to make it seem as if it's different somehow, that because you're asking for what you may see as provision or, as Mimi mentioned, allowances, that somehow that's better. But it's still coming from a place of ego. So it's insatiable for the things of this world. And again, your partner is likely going to be as lustful as you. So with Kayla Nicole, you know, she did this like interview, I remember, where she's talking about how she dated a guy, it didn't go well, and then she finds out he's with someone else, and she dresses like his ex for Halloween. People do the research and figure out it's Tiana Taylor.
Sounds egoic to me.
Who married him? So I say all that to say, not only is that just creepy,
petty,
but then to bring it up, it's weird. And to bring it up, I think after the fact, really shows where people are in their consciousness. So I think we got to be careful following these people just because they're attractive or they have money.
Now,
like,
she is
really
attractive,
sit
though.
down and, yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
but I mean, listen to the things that come out of these people's mouths, right? Like, what are you actually modeling and molding yourself after in the conquest for love?
That's heavy.
What do their love lives look like? Like, they don't look good. So, I mean, to me, that self-awareness piece is always going to be your compass for truth. But you have to tap into that. And your partner likely will be the same person who does the same thing. But, you know, as long as you're looking at them,
right,
you're going to run into a wall.
You're not looking at yourself. I love it. Attila, you always bring the fire. We appreciate the info. This is another one of Attila's topics, man. Attila be like, Unc, you know about decenter? No, I don't know about no dang decenter. Tell me about it. Oh, Lord, they doing this. Let's do it. Let's go. So, hey, we appreciate you for always contributing to the show. You are a gem. Thank you so much. All right, then. Hey, you want to bring your city in the building? You know what you got to do. All you got to do is call me, Zoe Williams, right here, 1-800-920-1580. Listen, don't decenter them. Decenter yourself, right? In contemporary discourse surrounding relationships, there's a growing emphasis on the need for individuals, primarily women, to decenter men and vice versa. However, this focus on shifting the relational center may obscure a more profound issue: the necessity of decentering oneself and ultimately their ego. Engaging in this self-reflective process opens pathways to healthier relationships and a more profound understanding of connection. Defining the self to explore the idea of decentering, we must first define what we mean by the self. And you already heard the Young piece. The self is your personality. But for most of us, our personality was crafted by early childhood dysfunction. So if it was crafted by early childhood dysfunction, how can you see another clearly? If you see yourself as normal, hold tight. Normal's a bad word. I'm just using it to make a point. If you see yourself as ain't nothing wrong with me, that means how you've been looking at the world with this hurt filter on, with this I'm not enough filter on, with this, I need love filter, or I need space filter, or I need them both. Like, if you don't understand what kind of filters you're looking at the world through, it's going to manifest in your relationship as conflict. That's typically how it works. Oh, we got my brother Kurt on the line from Pasadena. Always got to bring Kurt in. I love Kurt. Love his insight. Pasadena in the building. What up, Kurt? Talk to me.
How you guys doing?
Man, I'm alive and well, man. Good to hear from you, brother.
Hey, I wanted to quickly explain this quantum entanglement to you.
Please.
What Niels Bohr and Einstein didn't understand, that a particle is one of the few things in the universe that if you split it, it still remains the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason they both turn at the same time, because actually they split something that was never supposed to be split in the first place. And so no matter what the distance is between them, they're splitting the same thing.
Do tell. Say more.
That's about this. That's just as, because when you're dealing with things like particles, you're also dealing with something that is in the ethereal realm and also in the, in the world that we live in.
Mm-hmm.
But in the ethereal realm, there's no such thing as time.
Okay, so now you're getting into the measurement problem, where we look at this one electron and we recognize that it is a probability wave before we actually observe it. And when we set up instrumentation to observe it, the probability wave, which says that the electron or the particle is in superposition, meaning it's everywhere at once. Once we observe it, once we observe it, the probability wave collapses and then it lands at a particular point. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. But that's in the corporeal world. Mm-hmm. But in the ethereal realm, there's no such thing as time.
Oh, I love it.
And these principles work on both sides. So they're dealing with things that work. They're dealing with things that work in another dimension, actually. Mm. And that's why they call it spooky. They'll never figure it out.
Man, I'm glad you're here tonight, Kurt, because I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
I think relationship works in the same way. We have a corporeal aspect of it, but then there's this non-corporeal aspect.
There it is.
And this is where the generational trauma and lessons and psychological issues, this is where all of that stuff is sitting. And then you think...
your Akashic record.
Right. And then you think, egoically, me as the self, I chose this person and they chose me. Not understanding that it could be lineages on both sides choosing through you.
Smart man.
Come on, talk to me, Kurt. That's why come on.
Well, you're on the right track. So I'm a spiritualist, so I look at the world from the spiritual realm outward, whereas science looks from the world outside inward.
Mm-hmm.
So if you look at the thing from the ethereal realm, everything, you pick your parents, like I've heard you say,
mm-hmm.
and you pick your relationships. Everything is selected.
Mm-hmm.
You have free will, but your spirit is still going to push you and force you into doing the things that you planned on before you got here.
Mm-hmm. Keep going. This is deep. Wait a minute. Let's.
No.
This deep. See,
I gotta come to your cigar lounge, man.
You do.
And hook up.
You do. You just said something that's real powerful. You said we have free will. Yes, we do have the power to choose, but I don't think we gain the wisdom, right, to make the right choice until we mismanage free will a few times.
Because they're using their brain and not the spiritual side of their aspect.
Stay with me. Don't leave, Kirk. When we come for it, I'm going back to Pasadena. Let's go.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
If you say you care about the community, you have to also care about the climate. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we've got your black.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
in a mesh relationship, how it was explained to me by my therapist, who was also my psychiatrist, is a relationship that is largely too dependent on the other person in a variety of different ways, where the boundaries of that relationship are not clear. They're very intertwined and mixed, so much so that you couldn't even really spell out or point out the boundaries of the relationship because they may not even exist anymore. And what had happened in my relationship is we were together for 6 years. And around year 4, 5, and 6, we started to have a lot of issues in our relationship. And a lot of it stemmed from this enmeshed state where I would feel very responsible for my partner's well-being, for their own mental state. I would also put a lot of responsibility on my partner for my own mental.
Very heavy piece right here. But I got Kurt on the line. And I know Kurt could build. So when I hear enmeshed, I also hear entangled. And I think a lot of people get it twisted. They think that love is this, blissful and free and it ain't gonna cost you nothing. I believe every struggle you go through is the down payment to ascend to the consciousness level of love. And most people don't realize where we are in class. Say everything we've gone through is a type of curriculum, right? Mm-hmm. We're in school, we're learning, we're failing, we're struggling, we're hurting. You'll have people come up with ideas like, oh, love is not enough, or unconditional love is dangerous because somebody will treat you any kind of way because you love them unconditionally. I'm saying you're not even at the consciousness level to even say something like that. You're still in class. You still got to go through some things in order to ascend to that level of consciousness. What are your thoughts?
So there's only one relationship that you need to nurture.
Talk to us.
That's the one between you and yourself, your spirit. Once you nurture that relationship, once you solidify that, that's the only place you're going to find true love anyway, because your spirit is with you all the time. It's the only thing you can depend on. That's the only thing you can have true love with. Mm-hmm. Once you establish that relationship, all the other problems will fall away. And then your spirit will basically lead you to that relationship. Because you're listening to it now. We're using too much of our brain and none of our soul. Church teaches us not to use our spirits because they want us to do what they want us to do, but they don't want us to be independent like that. Mm-hmm. So basically, the greatest relationship you'll ever acquire is the one that you have with your own spirit. And there's a lot of exercises that you can do to obtain that.
Give us one. I know there's meditation, but give us.
Well, meditation. Give it a name. I'm Kurt, so I call mine Big Kurt, and I thank Big Kurt every day because that's what gives your life a spark.
Come on.
That's what energizes you. And then before I get in my car, I say, okay, Big Kurt, make sure there's no accidents out here today while I'm on this freeway. Anything I ask my spirit to do, it will do it. And so it responds. And so the whole thing is, it's something that I know. Like, for instance, you had a psychic on a couple of months ago, and she was telling Atala what to do. And I was like, don't listen to her, Atala. You need to listen to yourself. You got to communicate with your spirit because that's where all your answers are.
Come on. And Kurt and Big Kurt, I love that. It reminds me of Dr. David R. Hawkins in his works, Power versus Force, the eye of the I. He says something, there's you, the self, with a little s, and then there's you, the infinite self, with a capital S. Yeah, I hear you, brother.
And one of the other exercises you can do is ask your spirit to help you do something that you're not familiar with. if you never baked a cake, ask your spirit to show you how to bake a cake. And make that a project. Spend time with your spirit. You know, and first thing you're going to do is you're going to get it. Spirit's going to say, get a cookbook. You know, but by the end of the day, you'll have your cake and you will realize that it would never have gotten done had your spirit. I have a million stories, but I'm just telling you, the relationship between you and your spirit is the most important one. You'll never get along with another person if that one is not solidified.
Come on, brother. Hey, man, I really appreciate you, Kirk. You come on down to the cigar lounge. I got a cigar for you, man. You brought Pasadena in the building, brother. We appreciate the call. If you want to bring your city in the building and get to cooking like Kirk, all you got to do is call me 1-800-920-1580. Leroy, Inglewood, California. Get in here.
Is it me? Is it me? Is it me?
It's you, brother. I already know. I already know what's about to go down.
Man, I thought you was going to hold me over. I thought I was going to get in after the break, but let me touch it. So this is a private question I have. I'm going to say it in public, but I do not expect an answer. Is that all right, Brother Zoe?
Go ahead, brother.
Okay. You know, all this is in love. And by the way, hats off to Kirk. Damn.
Kirk was in here cooking.
Lord have mercy. Kirk was digging with God's finger up in the well.
Yes, sir.
Deep well. Deep well. All right. I'm sorry. I just had to just give Kirk his props. And you know, Angela, she's awesome. So I'm starting to fall in love with Angela. I don't know where she at, but I'm reaching out like one of them old things that just got separated that be spinning around, and no matter where it goes, it spin the other way. I think particles, as they call.
Yeah. Hey, well, hey, listen, like Kirk said, just ask Big Leroy to make it happen.
I know, right? Falling in love without love. All right. So, oh yeah, are you gonna be at the Taste of Soul, brother?
You know, I might duck in, show myself, you know.
Man, you be ducking in, but you be ducking out quick as you duck in, you know.
It's just how I get down. That's all.
It's just how you get down.
Yes.
All right. So this is a private question I'm asking in public with no expectation of a public answer, okay?
Hold on, Leroy. You done had so much fun. I got to carry you over now.
Oh, see, it ain't all bad. It ain't all bad.
So hold tight. When we come forward, we going to Inglewood, and then we going to South Central Los Angeles.
Your love, it would come to me someday because I love you so bad. Girl, it's about to drop me mad. Girl, say I do love you. I love you so right now. Pretty baby, pretty baby. I do love you. I love you so right now.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 things you should know from BIN News. Keke Palmer has been named the first chief brand officer for Cream of Nature, a hair care brand owned by Revlon. With a personal connection to the brand, she will help shape its communication strategy and appeal to a new generation of consumers. Black Cobb County, Georgia Sheriff Craig Owens is under fire for calling deputies to a Burger King dispute over his wife's order. After being denied a refund for an item containing an allergen, Owens expressed regret for his actions, saying, quote, I probably should have just driven off, end quote. His opponent, Dave Cavender, criticized him for abusing his power and diverting deputies from their duties. Second Gentleman Doug Emhoff will be in Georgia this week. He'll be speaking at a Harris campaign event in Savannah on Thursday. Emhoff plans to encourage voters to vote early for Vice President Harris. The Mall of Georgia is celebrating a milestone anniversary this week. It marks the 25th anniversary since the location opened. The mall will have special vendors, music, and family activities on Thursday night. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
John Legend here. How do I keep my protection against COVID-19 up to date with a COVID shot this season?
You can get your COVID-19 shot when getting your flu shot if you're due for both, as recommended by the CDC. Ask your healthcare provider and book at VaxAssist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here's what happens when you advertise on KBLA Talk 1580.
3, possibly 4 weeks ago, I heard an advertisement on your radio station from a company called Grid Solar. I would love to have that phone number so I can reach out to them with reference to solar panels being installed on my property.
Our listeners are aware and engaged, but more than that, they are loyal. When they hear empowering messages that uplift their community and help them live better lives, they respond. No medium reaches this coveted black audience like KBLA Talk 1580. So, hit us up today at smb@kbla1580.com and let us help you connect with our loyal listeners. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. Money to bud.
Hey, LA, it's time to step up and be a climate change hero. Go Metro and help us shape a better future for all Angelinos. From enhancing our diverse communities to preserving our planet, Metro is dedicated to making a positive impact with every ride. Start your journey at metro.net. With reported hate crimes rising in recent years, California has responded through outreach efforts across state government and in collaboration with community-based organizations for the launch of CA versus Hate. This non-emergency, multilingual hate crime and incident reporting hotline provides an anonymous reporting option for victims and witnesses of hate acts, reported in 15 different languages through the online portal and in over 200 languages when calling the hotline. Report anonymously by calling 833-866-4283, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. or online at any time at cavshate.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Watching
From a yogic perspective, someone who believes that they are a failure has a big ego. And you may say, well, hold on a second. What is that like? I thought people who are failures have small egos. No, their sense of self is very strong. I am a failure. And that's a defining part of who they are. So their ego is actually quite large. It is the ego of failure or success or whatever. I am a doctor. I am a failure. It's still I am and then a very big thing. And then think about how that shapes their thoughts, their emotions, and their actions. When an opportunity arises, hey, I really think that you'd be a great fit for like this job. Or hey, I heard that so-and-so has a crush on you. You should really think about asking them out. And even if you're attracted to that person and you want that job, your ego will step in and it will say they wouldn't take you. You'll screw it up anyway. They're not interested in dating you. So your sense of self defines the way that you interact with the world. From a yogic perspective, someone who believes that
That's deep. Your sense of self defines how you interact with the world. And what if your sense of self is distorted because you went through something when you were a child? And how will that play out in adult relationships? Let's get our brother Leroy. Leroy Inglewood, you already know. Following the heels of Kurt. Come on, Leroy, let's cook.
That's right. Well, I'm not going to compete with Kirk today. He's the captain today. He was on his square, and I got to give him his props.
Absolutely.
I must say. But this is my private question in public with no expectation of a public answer. Did you get permission to teach and expose the inepts as though they were adepts, knowing they are not?
Yes, I got
maturity. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't owe me that answer. You don't owe me that answer. I'm not even qualified to accept it.
I understand the question, and I understand where it's coming from. Yes, I got permission.
Okay. All right, that's a love question, right? I'm going to mention a name, but I'm not going to say much about it. Gabriel Oyibo, good doctor who deals in the realm of the quantum physics and the unified field theory. But I just wanted to just touch on what you were saying earlier. One, dealing with the self and not knowing the self, and Atala chiming in her own magical way. And, we got it kind of bad if you don't know who you are and the people around you don't know either, so you can't lean on nobody to get the example, and you're in a space that's designed to keep you ignorant of that self, because then you'll realize who you were in the first place. So that's rough. And you're on the air trying to prick at people to remind them of who they really are, and they're not interested in Shahrazad Ali or Queen Afua or even Pearl or all these other things that's on that could tell them that the way they're doing it is backwards and it's going to lead to results they don't want. They don't want that. They want Megan Thee Stallion. They want the mess. They want that. And then here you come trying to provide healing, and you got to run a master class for adepts, knowing that the inepts can't keep up, but you put it out there on the air as though they can. No offense, because I know you trying to help healing. President Obama is not helping. He's making it worse. The man whose comportment and composure as a modern world leader I sorely miss every day. A man who I got to give props for having a wife that is so ladylike, refined as she is, sure enough fine.
As frog
but
hair.
President Obama has a long black bourgeoisie history of downing black men in public while giving gifts to the others who already got the leg up. He been doing that for a while. Remember Jesse Jackson got caught on tape, said he wanted to do something to him because of the way he talked down to black men.
He did.
And they got on, and they jumped on Jesse Jackson, and Obama's still doing it to this day.
Yeah, it was a hot mic. Yeah,
it was a hot mic. And mind you, Jesse Jackson is related, got a relative in Michelle Obama's family. He was the first one to help Obama realize that he could actually run for president after here. So but we down the one who's helping us the most and go against the.
Now, but Leroy,
We run to the one that's hurting us and hate us, and we run against the ones who support us the most.
Right. But Leroy, let me play a little tennis with you now. A little table tennis.
Help me now. Help me.
See, first and foremost, back to your initial question. You know I couldn't speak this way if I didn't have the permission to do so. I've been sent here on a mission to get this work in. So,
yes, sir.
And then we also know that even, you said the adepts to the inepts. Oh, that's heavy. Let me just say, we do know that once you hear the bell ring, you can't unring the sound. So sometimes all they got to do is hear the information to be triggered to remembering the information. That's all. They don't even have to understand it initially. They just have to be exposed to it. Sometimes it's the exposure alone that will trigger something in the seeker. That will trigger the seeker within the person who was once, what they call it, blind, deaf, and dumb. Is that what they? Yeah. So sometimes just hearing it wakes them up, and they go, "Oh wow, I ain't never heard somebody frame it that way. I've never heard somebody put it together that way." And listen, man, we're in a time, and I'm sure you'll understand this, Leroy. We're in a time where we as a people can't play no more. If your if your spirit is bad, it don't matter what condition your politics are in. Do you understand? Like if we're horrible people, we lack integrity, we lack character, we lack courage, we lack consciousness. Oh, but we gonna vote right.
You sound like you're on a yellow brick road.
But do you see what I'm saying? So to me, and maybe you can expound on this a little bit for me, Leroy. To me, relationship is the linchpin that holds it all together. As Kurt said, number one, the relationship with oneself. Who am I? Where did I come from? And what am I bringing with me to you? Right? Let's figure that out. Then once we figure that out, man, who are you? And where did you come from? And what are you bringing to me? Now, do we have the fortitude to weather the stuff we brought to each other in order to evolve together? Your thought?
I think you know what the heck you talking about. And I think you sit here on a mission. You know what your mission is. You're not going to, you're moving closer to Kevin Samuels and Bobby Hemmett, but you're not spinning out of control, and you're not doing too much Red Bull or spewing too much of the same. So I'm grateful for you, man. Keep up the great work. Don't beat up on the audience every night, maybe twice a week at the most.
Am I beating them up, Leroy? Leroy, am I beating?
No, hold on. Look. Now, look. You've been on a roll for the last 3.5 months. You kicked it up a notch. By design, on purpose, not by accident, not by happenstance. But then the last 2 weeks, you start going into like attack mode against the audience, like you don't give a damn, like you about to get off the air, like you about to go on a hiatus or something. And now you modulating on us like you in a transition period. So I'm just hoping that the love, the space for grace is just as strong as the needed dose of turpentine soaking in the sugar to kill all these parasites and diseases that have been beset upon us. So thank you.
No, thank you, brother. We appreciate you, Leroy. You brought Inglewood in the building. When I come forward, one of my favorites is on the line. You already know what it is. South Central Los Angeles. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Medicare open enrollment is here, and it's a time you can make changes to your health coverage. Yet, watch out for enrollment and marketing scams. Remember, Medicare will neither call you nor solicit your business. Guard your card. Never give out your Medicare number to strangers. Unsolicited calls, door-to-door visits, and emails are prohibited. Take your time. Don't feel pressured to make a quick decision. Report scams to our California Senior Medicare Patrol at 1-855-613-7080. To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelenos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, just call 687-246-9655 to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
Linking social justice and climate justice all year long. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. The Live Your Life organization mentors young women, helping them break negative mindsets and see beyond their surroundings. Through career exposure and hands-on training, they're encouraged to think big, stay focused, and make positive choices. Founded by Nikisha Mama Boo Smith, who transformed her life to become a community leader, Live Your Life is changing lives, but they need your help. They're raising funds to keep their new building open and expand their programs. Your donations will support food, clothes, hygiene products, and holiday giveaways. Visit liveyourlife32.com. That's LIVEYOLIFE32.com to help today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Intellectually, we understand that the observer is the observed. But what is necessary to perceive this so that, it goes beyond the intellectual level? Intellectually, we understand that the observer is the observed. But what is necessary to perceive this so that it goes beyond the intellectual level? The question is, what is necessary to go beyond this intellectual acceptance that the observer is the observed. Right? First of all, do we even intellectually accept it? Question yourself, please. Do you even intellectually, that is, verbally, logically, discerning, and saying, yes, it is so logically, because it's been pointed out objectively, logically. And you say, yes. Is that so? Do you even intellectually accept that? Or it's just a lot of words floating around?
Man, Krishnamurti, my favorite. I'm sorry. Got to play him. Sorry. But again, he's challenging. We've got all of these intellectual traps and concepts and boxes. He said something that was quite profound in one of his books. I think it was The First and Last Freedom. He says, man will always be separate because of conceptual thinking. And everybody think they know what's best for them without knowing themselves. Somebody go meme it. Somebody meme that up for me. Everybody think they know what's best for themselves without first knowing themselves. Relationship is the classroom where you discover self-knowledge. But because you don't know yourself and you're afraid to know and learn yourself, what you do is you create all of these ideological constructs that people are supposed to operate in, right? Based on your conditioning, based on your expectations. Hey, if you fit this box, then I'll be safe. Well, if you were yourself, you wouldn't have to be safe. Somebody meme it. Somebody meme it up. If you were your true self, I don't think you would be in pursuit of safety. Ooh, you'd be self-assured, I tell you that much. Let me get my brother. JW, South Central LA is in the building. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend?
Hey, Zoe, man, I had to apologize, bro, for not coming on in a while, but, I'll be multitasking, and I'm a news junkie, and et cetera, and I don't get a chance to do deep dives in what you be communicating on. But anyway, besides that, just to go back and coin a phrase that I heard you mention about in reference to I bring 100% and you bring 100% and we have 200%. Mm-hmm. And to me, I see that as a solution. And it makes me harken back to comments I have said in the past over and over again in terms about being equally yoked and et cetera. But let me back out of that, ramble on something else, and then come back to that and connect the dots. Bro, I got to give you your props, man. You are sitting here. I realize I'm sitting here. You do trigger me. Things that has been spoken on always triggered me. So it's meant to be, as you commented, and I can't go into detail because it's hard for me to retain thought because I got so much on my plate, bro. Mm-hmm. And this is real talk. I mean, you got to talk in person, but that's another thing. Going back to, as I was trying to say, man, I'm going to tie this in with what another brother said about Big James and Little James or whatever term he used.
Big Kurt and Little Kurt. Yeah, come on.
Right. Now, see, I Jimmy Lee White, and I hate using my government name, but I prefer JW. But Jimmy Lee White, and I told Cornel West that when I met him for the first time. But anyway, that's another story. Mm-hmm. I see it like this. Man, I always got to acknowledge God, the supreme architect in the universe. Now, I won't go into a tangent on that because I think I made a reference to that in the past, and I think you know who or how I came up in that secret knowledge and blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So I won't elaborate. But anyway, now, so if the whole audience nationwide don't catch that, so be it.
Come on, anyway, bring it home, J-Dub. I'm with you.
Yeah. So God You got to recognize him and give him the glory for, that spirit within inside ain't no big whoever. But if you want to entitle him as a little bit J-Dub or a little bit Zoe or a little bit whatever the guy's name was, so be it. That's all good. But that supreme architect of the universe is the grand master of the universe, and that's Jehovah. Yahweh, any other term you want to call him or recognize him as, and give him the glory. So, yeah.
No,
but
we don't agree. We don't disagree with that. Come on.
Right on. I'm not saying we did. But back to, that mirror thing. Once we...
You got 90 seconds, J-Dub.
Okay, good. Right on, Andy. Once we knew or know who we are, or come to grips to who we are, and our faults and our flaws, and accept ourselves for who we are, then that's how we can recognize and see ourselves in others once we come to that perfection, so to speak. And there's a record out, I can't take it in this group, but he says, how did he phrase it? I see me in you, and I don't want nobody else.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Real talk. This is real talk. So, and then we can go on. I wish I had time. I gotta land this plane. I wish I could go to this mathematic and string theory and physics, because there, as the other brother made a reference to, and I was trying to make a comment on him earlier. There's some proof to that. And there's some reality to everything that's been said.
You know what? This is what you got to do for me, brother. Just call me tomorrow. Call me early. I'll get you in early, and we'll catch up, man. Let's do it.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, JW, South Central Los Angeles. Listen, I start the conversations. It's up to you to finish them. Listen, nobody's trying to be right. We trying to be in alignment. Let's get in alignment with each other. You continue this conversation that I started tonight, and I'll bring you a new one tomorrow. Hey, the VOR. I'm always on fire. Let's get it.
Now don't it feel